pray in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Come, O Holy Spirit.
Fill the hearts of the faithful, and enkindle in them the fire of thy love. Send forth thy Spirit, and they shall be created, and thou shalt renew the face of the earth.
Let us pray.
O God, who by the light of the Holy Spirit did instruct the hearts of the faithful, grant that by the gift of the same Spirit we may be truly wise, and ever rejoice in his consolation. Through the same Christ our Lord. Amen.
Father, we ask you for wisdom and knowledge as we share this with Marriage University people. In Jesus' name.
Okay, people for Marriage University, good evening. We Nakofutaka, and we just get a little reaction to the question where Father we ask him if marriage will be important. So we just have a few points. We don't just begin to wonder people their various opinions and interpretations of marriage. And so, according to the Catechism of the Catholic Church, what is marriage?
The Catechism for the Catholic Church gives a very broad definition of marriage. So I will try for put them in different compartments so that you know how to approach.
Okay.
It defines marriage as a covenant between a man and a woman, where they don't come into partnership to give in their whole self into this union. And it also be for the well-being or for the common good of each of these spouses in this union. And it also continue for state say it also be for the procreation and the upbringing or education of children, which has been raised by Christ to the order of a sacrament. Very big doctrine. But our focus today not just for the phrase, say marriage, it be for the well-being or the common good of spouses.
Okay. So we go give some various examples where it will be will feel able to explain the aspects of well-being. Remember, say if the well-being of the spouse it be ignored, marriage it could be like something like a bondage. Yes.
And people they endure bondage.
Yes.
They don't endure bondage. But marriage is to be enjoyed.
Enjoyed, not endured.
Not endured, yes.
Okay. So people they say that the endure marriage means that they experience some sort of a bondage.
Bondage or limitation or oppression.
Okay.
For their marriages.
Okay. So just give me some examples of those aspects where each of the spouses, their well-being if it be fostered.
There are many areas or many aspects for married life where when you try to suppress or you deny or you ignore, so they don't be necessary, you already put some strain for each marriage. One of those aspects now the freedom to worship.
Okay.
For example, assuming say I'm married to my woman and then I deny say don't pray, don't go to church, it is not necessary to pray or to go to church. And then I try to limit or always raise up a negative and why that one is being necessary in my house. I limit some freedom and some good thing we give to my family. So one of the necessary foundation for marriage, you get the freedom of worship. You also get the freedom of education. I can say it be necessary for say when you married for improve about the well-being of self and the well-being of the marriage. If the spouse they be very educated, they are very literate, it lifts up the family morale and the family place in society. So education even as something where you cannot resist or say it cannot happen. You see, so it being an aspect to where when you hinder and if you attempt or you try to hinder the well-being of both spouses or individuals.
Okay.
Another aspect, you get the freedom to pursue career. It be difficult for this our modern days for things say a woman not get to be educated or the man not get to be educated, because education as well as career it be very important. Imagine say you are not working, the woman is not working. How do you sustain the married life? So it is paramount for understand say things like to encourage the pursuit of career. It also be for the well-being of individuals for the marriage of the various spouses. Another aspect now for like self-expression or your ability to express oneself. Imagine say you always resist that the wife or the husband should not say anything. Once you say it, it remains like that. That one it be a hindrance to self-expression, and it be not be too good. I will not must encourage them. So much encourage the aspect for where people they be free from married house or self-express themselves. Another aspect for marriage will be important, the freedom of social interaction or social integration. I know some marriage the day with the man or the woman that they fear say make the woman not join social groups on jangi or small meeting them, or to associate with people, or for go out with friends, or because they feel say maybe something must go wrong. That one has some archaic mentality, because social integration and social interaction must be encouraged. You see, because it be part and parcel of it, because we be like a social being, and anything will become antisocial in marriage, it will destroy the very foundation of marriage. As well as the most important thing when you look at freedom to take holidays. You see, freedom to take holidays. But we'll talk a little bit about that concept of holiday.
Okay, we'll just take a little break. We'll talk much about it because now our main aspect that take holiday. Okay, so different couples enjoy different activities during their leisure, and I think that if your spouse loves a particular activity to enjoy during leisure, it should be encouraged. So what are some of those activities that can be enjoyed during holiday or during leisure?
The first thing is that in marriage, you have two different individuals from different backgrounds and different attitudes and characters and behaviors and social backgrounds coming together. So automatically things like their hobbies or leisure moments will always want to differ a little bit. So in marriage we encourage unity and diversity as well. So a couple may love football and a spouse may love football while the other one loves maybe singing in the choir. So they will want to use their leisure time to go to watch football match or maybe to go to the church to choir activities. One may love indoors activities like marriage and bedroom liturgy, while the other party like mountain activities in prayers and fasting, spiritual enrichment.
Okay.
So I think these different ways to exercise or enjoy your leisure must also be accepted into marriage homes as well.
Okay.
And it may vary. Others may choose to go in for a retreat.
A retreat, yeah.
A long retreat or a short retreat.
Yes.
Based on how they deem fit for spending their leisure time.
Yes.
But in general, the concept of leisure, a free time, just to be by yourself, enjoy what you like to do, how you like to do it, just to feel free. In marriage, it be very important to give people some time just to and build up their personal well-being, to be able to put in a positive contribution for marriage.
Okay. So some certain thing, although holiday it be important in marriage, we need to take some various points into consideration. For example, we get location. Inside where the person wey wan go for the holiday dey go to. All these points dey need to be discussed before even the holiday time. If na for the parents, is it an agreed location? If na in the hotel, if na maybe in a convent, if na for retreat, all these things get to be discussed and agreed upon. We also get things like duration.
Yes, of course, I get to discuss about the duration and how long this leisure moment or this holiday moment will be, so that if you know how to plan and arrange other aspects in concerning married life.
Okay. We also get things like resources which will be needed during the time of the holiday.
Yes, of course, as I think we get some contribution from some other person we think about budgeting for holiday.
Yes.
Will be a very important aspect on which side money will come out, because some couples in the way they get joint accounts and maybe one party they earn more than the other, and then you want to go on a holiday. Again, for it be important for discussing about budgets.
Okay. We also talk about tasks that should be left at home. For example, the upbringing of the children.
Yeah, very important, because when this question will come about holidays in marriage, it be different from holidays out of marriage. So it means you still be part of the marriage. Why they take out this leisure time? You see. So this aspect on activities left at home, how do you manage them? It must also be discussed. Very important.
So now one of the key aspects wey it will be mentioned during the forum, for inside the forum, it will be say marital problems should be a reason why couples should take a holiday. What is your opinion on that?
I want for, at this case, do a citation about father. Father be trying to give a small clue about you get preventive measures for handle crisis for marriage, and you get curative measures for handle crisis for marriage. One of the preventive measures in handling crisis in marriage is the encouragement of leisure.
Okay.
Time out to just enjoy yourself, have a break, maybe every day, within a week, within a month, or every year. And that we don't discuss about. But also, when issues don't creep up, we need a curative measure, and one of them can also be just take a time out and cool your head off before you beat some person from my house.
Okay. So in summary, just give us a summary, a deeper understanding, so that people will be able to pick out a summary which we don't try to talk concerning holiday in marriage.
The first thing we try to highlight on the definition of marriage. So one of the aspects of marriage is being concerned about the well-being and the common good of spouses. And we also try to highlight, say, holiday also be like a time of leisure. And then we also try to think, say, and we see this leisure it also help to improve the well-being of spouses, and so therefore it must be highly encouraged. And so therefore we try to conclude for say whether it be a preventive method or it be a curative solution for marriage, leisure, holidays, time out, just to go along with your friends, brothers, visit family, take a time out, even go to the forest. It'd be important just to bring some joy and some sweetness in marriage.
And I would like to add, say, remember, say, before you want to take this holiday, your activities have been discussed. If in the course of the holiday you discover say there is a change in activity, you should have that transparency to be able to communicate back to your spouse. And to me, if something funny went on occurred as a result of the holiday, you should be able to communicate still to your spouse. You shouldn't be afraid. Seriously, because someday it will still come up. You will say it intentionally or unintentionally, and that time it may be very difficult to handle it, and you may need to take another holiday to be able to to solve that particular issue. So let's take holiday for preventive measures, not for curative measures, because curative measures it may end up not being true. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Any conclusion?
Well, the conclusion is say, try to take some time out or enjoy yourself before you enter bondage for marriage.